that means, I'm welcoming you back to wherever you've been throughout the whole day. And I do hope, as we are going to be having this very first edition of our Niger Voices, coming to you on Star Radio, which you can listen to by downloading our apps in the App Store, either on your iPhone or Google Play Store. Also, you can follow us because we are live streaming on Facebook, Star Radio on Facebook. Most important, for all my audience and all my Nigerians that are watching globally, can you continue to share the button and like our page as well? That is very important because that way we can reach more audience globally. Niger Voices will be coming live to you every Wednesday on Star Radio, all the way in United Kingdom where we reside here, but reaching out globally. Remember, Niger Diaspora itself is a one hub connecting the Nigerians globally. It's going to be a beautiful show this evening, and also, we'll be talking and be looking at different event that has happened, within the last 12 hours, I would say. I mean, in terms of, those of us that are living in United Kingdom. Also, I'll be giving you an update of the latest news coming live, from Nigeria. Also, there is so much happening within the community that we need to bring to you so that you are aware of what is taking place, not only here in United Kingdom, not only in London, because there's so many Nigerians living in Glasgow, Bedford, Manchester, Liverpool, and I say to you, Ekrole once again. Niger Voices will be brought to you through our platform on Star Radio, but it's going to be shown onto our YouTube channel on Star Radio as well. Again, my name is Olayomi Koiki. Firstly, for those of you that won't know what Niger Diaspora is all about, we are a media organization, and what we tend to do all the time is bring to you live event and live information of what is taking place right across United Kingdom and also right across in Nigeria. We're a platform that tends to bridge the gap between the Nigerian community by making sure we're all working together, uniting together, and also, bringing that gap. When I'm in that gap, if you look at our community, statistics, we're about 2 million residing in the United Kingdom, and we are still growing day by day. So how do we all connect to each other? Niger Diaspora is on ground to make sure that, information, of what is taking place, within the community is brought to you, whether through our live stream Facebook page that a lot of us have been following, or through all our other social media platforms. We've got Niger Diaspora Travel, we've got Niger Diaspora Agric, we've got Niger Diaspora Food. We've got different channels that you can follow depending on your taste, because everyone has something that you probably want to, follow, on your day-to-day, depending on your area of field. Again, we do give a thanks to Star Radio for giving us that opportunity to pitch, Niger Voices, to the community, not only United Kingdom, but also, to the wider audience globally. Most important, as we come to you live, not only on Wednesday, but you can follow Star Radio. Star Radio operates 24 hours with a lot of documentary and so much beautiful shows that come in, on a day-to-day. They have their breakfast, between the hours of 10 o'clock in the morning. You might be surprised that, there's so much that goes into, this particular breakfast show hosted by Mr. Archie and Frank as well. I've listened to it so many times, even before we decided that we will come into this platform and pitch our, message across to the wider audience. Again, there's so many other shows, and a lot of presenter that do come onto the air on different time zone. But today is Niger Voices. It's all about you. It's not about us. We come in here to present to you what is taking place within the community. Firstly, I'm going to say to give you an update of the news, in terms of update news that came in from Nigeria this morning. Some of you must have read through the daily news, but it is very good for some of our audience that have been very busy, trying to make a living or whatever you might be doing. Some have been out for a community project, which I'll be coming up to explain to you later on. I have been at the Nigerian High Commission since almost, the last 6 hours. It's very beautiful, but I will hold on to that where I'll be able to tell you what took place at the Nigerian High Commission. We go into the news update where I'll be able to read to you what is in the dailies today, coming all the way from Nigeria. Remember, Niger Voices every Wednesday on Starr Radio. Continue to share the button. Continue to tell your friends and family that you've now got that station where Niger Voices will be heard. If you've got an event coming up, if you've got a message you want to pass across, remember, if you don't share the button, the next neighbor doesn't know that we have our own platform where we can come to you on a very Wednesday, more relaxed, and we can share, ideas, and we can see how, as a community, we can continue to bridge that gap. Again, election is tomorrow for those of us residing in the United Kingdom. There's so much on the table, but we're trying to pick it up, as we go along. Most important, my name again, Ola Yomi Koiki, and thank you very much. I'm going to look into what the paper said today, and so that we can have a view of a report, live from Nigeria, on the update. Northern youth give Igbo October 4th deadline to quit region. I'm sure this is a very hot topic, in terms of, what is happening in the northern part of Nigeria, where some youth are giving, the Igbos, ultimatum to leave the northern part of Nigeria. I've read a report coming out from Kaduna State, through the press release from El Rufai, picking up those that have the signatory of that message. I mean, this update came out in the morning, but as you can see, things are moving very fast. There's been reports, through the Kaduna State, that this kind of message, cannot be portrayed, from the youth in the northern part of Nigeria. Also, we'll be looking at Buhari expected back on Saturday. That means, a lot of us that have been aware that our president, Muhammad Buhari, has been in London, on a medical leave. Again, the report is saying that he will be returning back to Nigeria on Saturday. How the viewers take that, I'm sure a lot of people are expecting him back. There's a lot of controversy in terms of, why he has left the country in the first place. But the most important thing is we're expecting him back, according to the report coming in from Nigeria this morning on Saturday. Also, we'll be looking quickly, because we've got so much to discuss. Osibajo, which is the acting president, Professor Yemi Osibajo, to the NAS, approved 1.5 billion loan for 10 states. There's a 1.5 billion loan which has going to be released, for 10 states for different project, capital project. Ondo State is part of it as well. Enugu State, that is again coming up, in one of the dailies this morning. Also, 28 Southeast rep boycott preliminary over reject bill. Again, this is another report coming up. Quickly, to just round up the dailies, because we've got so much to touch in, I'm just going to go quickly and scroll down to say, the Gambia by 1 year, Nigerian Stock Exchange market shares 11 trillion mark. Wow, that is a big figure. And I'm sure for those of you, have your money in the stock market, no matter how small it is, there's a lot of improvement going on in that area. I think that is for that at the moment. And the most important thing now is, to see what has taken place, in United Kingdom through the Nigerian community, as we have it, remember, we can only say to you, it is the information that comes to us, we can pass out to you. So if you at any given time want us to release some of your information or attend some of your event, you can send us an email on yomi@nigerdiaspora.net. That is yomi@nigerdiaspora.net, where we can come down and give the audience on a Wednesday like this what has actually taken place within the Nigerian community. Like I said, if for those that have been following me since morning, you realize that I was at the Nigerian High Commission, where ABLE, which is an organization that works in conjunction with the Home Office as well, and NOS, and also Saffron, all came together to discuss safeguarding the Nigerian community. It was a very important conference. It lasted over 6 hours. We were there from 10 o'clock in the morning. I'm just coming all the way from the Nigerian High Commission. But the most important message was, not just the type of conference that, takes place, or, event that takes place. A committee was set up, after the whole conference. And what the committee will be doing is, in 3 months' time, they will be giving back a report. Because the reason why that committee was set up in the process was to enable us to be able to allow us to speak, within, the government policy. I'm sure a lot of us do know that, there's so many events that takes place, but there's nothing that comes out of it. So a committee was set up after this conference, so that after 3 months, they'll be able to report back, to the Nigerian community residing in the United Kingdom. And Saffron they're based in the UK, and they're also based in Nigeria as well. So this organization, with other organizations, have all come together. In 3 months' time, they'll be giving us a report where we will then be able to take that, to the government in the United Kingdom, where we can then be able to have, some of what was discussed, embedded into this policy, that this, because what you got to remember is, there's a lot of everyone has a different culture. Nigeria, we have our culture, and if we don't have, a majority of our organization, embedded into the government policy, what would end up happening is, policy will be made, and we won't have a say. So what took place at the embassy today shows that there's a commitment from all the organizations that were there to work together to move things to the next level, so that we can then balance whenever the government is trying to make a policy that affects not just the Nigerian community alone, but African in general. Then we can be able to say, yes, we have our our committee in that policy when it was being taking place. Again, that took place at the Nigerian High Commission today. It's a very beautiful event. If you've missed that, you can always go back and watch that on our Facebook page, either through Olayomi Koiki or Niger Diaspora. It's a part 1 and part 2. You'll be able to enjoy it, and you'll be able to learn, 1 or 2 things, that took place at that event today. Also, what do I want to really talk about this evening? I've looked at it. There's so much, that we're going to be talking about, but what I just wanted us to look into, and we open the phone line, but we'll be speaking to, one of our guest speaker, through the telephone, to give us, an insight. Why is it that, it's very difficult to have maintenance culture? I'm sure for those of us that are residing in the United Kingdom, we do travel around, we see things, buildings, quite a lot of different things. But the most important thing is for us to see the way it has been maintained. Why is it that we cannot have that maintenance culture? What is the main problem? I want you, my audience listening, to have a feel, think about it, and let's have this conversation, like I said, through if you're watching us on YouTube, or if you're watching us on Facebook, let's interact, because the most important thing is we all can sit down and be judgmental, of what is taking place in Nigeria. Oh, the infrastructure are not very good. We don't maintain. But what is the reason? What is the main reason why we don't have this culture of maintaining things? I don't know. You probably have the answer. I'll be speaking to the guest speaker is not in, she's not in the studio, but we'll be giving her a phone call, where she'll be able to give us inside knowledge of why we are not a maintenance culture. Every time everybody wants to build a new hospital, we want to build a new road, we want to, there's almost everything has to be built newly. I think it shouldn't be like that. Maybe you agree with me or not. We can have a conversation. That is why it is called Niger Voices. This is brought to you live every Wednesday, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Continue to share the button. Continue to share and click like on our page, Starr Radio, so that more audience could be able to follow us on every Wednesday, because without you, we are not here. And that is the reason why we want to make sure that the whole world knows that we are here and we can hear your voice. If you've got anything to discuss, or you want us to talk about, there's always room for that. Send us an email. We can look into that and we can always bring it onto the platform. But tonight, I just want us to have a view of why we have to keep all the time, trying to fix or unfix. We love building new buildings, but we don't like keeping the ones that we've built. And that is the reason why we are where we are today. And I'm sure the problems is not just you, it's not just me, it's not just the government, it's everyone. But how do we find a solution to this big problem? And this is where, I'll try to give a phone call to our speaker to say, what she thinks about this particular topic, because I've been thinking about it for a very long time, and I thought we could have a discussion on it so that we can be able to see why we don't have maintenance culture within the Nigeria, within the country. So most important, Niger Diaspora, like I said to you earlier, is a global hub where Nigeria living in diaspora can find information, whatever information you're looking for, whether you're looking for a solicitor in the United Kingdom, or you're just looking for that GP, you've just arrived into the country. That was one of what was discussed at the Nigerian High Commission, this morning stroke this afternoon at the conference. We've got a lot of people that are traveling into the country, they're coming in, but the question is, are they prepared for what is actually the real United Kingdom? Because you could travel down from Nigeria, and if you're not prepared for what the situation is on ground, then it's a big issue. But the question is, why can't we maintain? Why is it that we love all the time to build new structures when we can keep that old structure, that we have? As usual, I'm sure everyone have something to say. Send us an image of that building anywhere in Nigeria out of the whole 36 states, where we can see if that building could have been maintained rather than building a new one. Because all I see all the time is, yes, it is good to always upgrade. And I'm sure, for my audience that are residing in the United Kingdom, I got to Victoria Station just this afternoon on my way down to the studio, and I was completely lost. You might be asking me why. I look like someone that just arrived into the country, because the new station, the new entry to the Victoria Station has been opened. So I thought I was in a different station. I had to ask one of the attendants, what station am I in? And he said to me, this is Victoria Station. And I was completely lost. The reason why I was lost is, if the magnificent building that has been built around the old structure. The old structure is still there, but they've added the new technology, the new, ways of how the platform should be into the new structure. But the question is, why can't we maintain that structure that we have, from the road network to the hospital to the clinic, you name it, to the healthcare? Why is it that we can't maintain, the ones that we have? As usual, we'll be taking a 1-minute break. Don't go away. Stay tuned. Continue to share the button. Think of what I've said, and then we'll be able to discuss when we come back after this 1-minute break. Thank you very much.
Cutting across the genres and tearing up the airwaves.
This coming summer, the Great Commission Society are proud to present a spectacular all-age event, Engage 2017, Saturday 24th of June at the Emmanuel Centre in Westminster, London. The day will start with Evangelism Masterclass from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. Dynamic and practical evangelism training by experienced international evangelists Tony Anthony, John Lawson, Neil Obard, featuring performances throughout the day by award-winning worship leaders, followed by a powerful evening of spontaneous worship from 7 till 9:30 p.m. Spectacular non-stop worship led by award-winning UK music artists Eric Reverence, Sandra Godley, Deanna Stambridge, Sam Daniel and Caitlin Boulone. Early bird tickets available now from the following sites: eventbrite.co.uk, greatcommissionsociety.com, sworship.com. This is an event not to be missed.
We're glad to be back after that 1-minute break. Again, we're live, coming all the way to you on Starr Radio. I've got my guest speaker online at the moment. I will be connecting her. You'll be hearing her voice. But the most important thing is, I would like to welcome Juliet Makpila. Thank you very much, my sister, for joining me on Niger Voices. This evening. Let's go straight to the point.
Yes.
Why is it important? I know you are from Kenya. Your passion about Nigeria. You've been to Nigeria before. Nigeria is not new to you. But the question is, why is it important for Kenya and Africa to be thinking of good, improved public transport system? Firstly, I would like you to introduce yourself to our audience that are listening to us now. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Olayomi, and well done to your launching your program today. And this will go mileage towards supporting the community. Well done, and congratulations for the lovely work that you do with Niger, the diaspora, and also across Africa. My name is Juliet Makapila, and I'm a community developer, and I like to actually describe myself as mainly a community transformer and innovator, and after looking into and searching my own soul and thinking about what it is I really want to do in this life, I see myself as that. Now, down here in UK, I normally do a lot of community work, mainly in improving livelihoods for people, and mainly into empowering the community, especially women, young people, and the disabled community. I'm also a qualified trainer and advocate and community coach as well.
Okay.
In Africa, I do a lot of charity work as well, which is important in relation to your question.
Okay.
Now, the question here today, which you've asked, is a fantastic question. And why is it important for Kenya and Africa to be thinking of good improved public transport? And in my views, I think that, first of all, community safety is of importance. And this reduces accidents on the road.
Okay.
And as a result, we would see lesser deaths in our roads, especially across Africa.
Yep.
And when we also look at the improved health and well-being of the people, this is very important.
Okay.
You can just imagine every time when you go to Africa and you compare our public transport with all the roads and ports and holes and compare that with the United Kingdom where we live, I think there is a very big difference, and as a result, we would not merely just but imagine. But what is interesting is, I think, is the area of what we look out for when we go back home. And I think that is interesting. I mean, I think the stories would be, if you've lived here for a very long time, I think you would particularly be looking at the areas that sometimes people miss, you know. So sometimes I look at it like that, Olayomi.
Okay.
And then I think the other thing is it maintains the vehicles, you know, like with good public transport, you've got better vehicles and better running of the car engines and stuff like that. I think it's also very good in terms of marking the roads and ensuring the drainage systems are also looked at very well.
Okay. Okay. You did mention the transport system, which
Yes.
is I mentioned it just before you came on air. I got to Victoria Station and I was lost. And
Yes.
the reason why I was lost is they've been doing a lot of work, you know, a lot of upgrade, you know, on the Victoria Station. I don't know if you've gone through that station in the last few weeks or months, but I
Yes.
came out of that station and I got lost. So
Yes.
for a lot of our audience that are listening to us right now,
Yes.
the question on the mind of everyone is,
Yes.
what do you personally think are the greater challenges in Africa in creating job opportunities in across Africa, especially in Kenya and Nigeria? Because if we are talking about maintenance and we
Yes.
have a lot of our youth that are crying every day for work, you
Yes.
know, I want you to just give me your, you know, your view on that question, please.
That is a big question, you know.
Wow.
But I think across Africa, one of the things I find is, you know, the challenges is the dishonesty. You know, too much cartels in the market and security investment is of high risk sometimes. I mean, we shouldn't really say that. That's what we are told. But,
Okay.
you know, we have to sometimes analyze why people are scared in investing across Africa sometimes, especially when big investment wants to come. In Kenya, they're trying to deal with that. I think a lot of African countries are beginning to see the reality. And I
Okay.
think the question is lack of confidence in returns. You know, there's exploitation. I mean, let's be realistic here. How many diasporas have invested in across Africa, and why is it that say, for example, I've known loads of cases where people have gone to do some kind of investments. I don't know about yourself.
Yeah.
They're in Kenya, but I've also heard stories from Nigeria and a lot of African community where they've tried to build their own social housing or a place to live.
Okay.
And most of the times they haven't even finished the project because either people have been dishonest or people have, or when they've tried to create job opportunities for even other people, even the mothers and the children and the youths over there, you know, you end up really, really out of pocket because of lack of honesty, you know, dishonesty, really, you could say. So I think that's one of the issues. Other people call it corruption as well. Other people call it there's too much expenditures. If I look at breaking down even a simple business these days, when you travel to Kenya, I sometimes question some of the things which I've really fought hard to sort of like bring down, and I've done the same thing in Nigeria as well. I was one of the lucky people to see your greater infrastructure which was coming up in Nigeria, and I have managed to sort of like create awareness and education in your country as well. And I always ask a question, especially within the African diaspora, that we have some of the most learned Nigerians in, especially in Africa. You find that most Nigerians have got either a master's or
a PhD.
Exactly. And even if you look at like the World Health Organization, we've got some of the best doctors coming from Nigeria and even in Kenya. And one has got to really ask a question seriously where how we are not able to sort of sometimes create job opportunities. And that reminds me, if the last program that we did, the last conference that we did on the 7th and the 8th, one of the areas that Godson, who normally does the program for in Ben TV, You Decide, actually raised a very interesting point and said that if Africans in the UK would join together or would unite and would contribute and be effective in terms of allowing for unity, which is also a big problem as well in answering your question. Disunity is also part of the bigger problem. When someone is trying to do something, somebody comes down and tries and pulls you down, and everybody knows something, and there is no straight lines in that. There's too many brokers and stuff like that. So Godson was saying that the biggest, or argued that the biggest charity that can even support charitable organizations, or not even from a charitable angle, but from a social entrepreneurial sector, would be the diaspora sector, which sends the highest remittance, and challenged our minds, which was very interesting for me to observe, and we have not forgotten about that, Olayemi.
Okay, you've said so much in terms of what if we give an example of basic, and I'm not talking about big project now or big infrastructure. Let's just look at the primary health care center as an example. Why is it difficult that this primary health center cannot be maintained? We've got the structure there. It has been opened by either the governor or the chairman. But after that opening and the magnificent spending of so much money, a lot of people have attended. But after that whole event, why can't we maintain that just single primary health care center? Because health is the most important thing that we are suffering, in African countries.
Absolutely. And thank you very much for raising that question. This is something that I have been appalled at, looking at the maintenance level at certain counties or constituencies across Africa. And when we, personally, I observe a lot, and I think that the issue here is, first of all, for myself, I will answer this one not blaming any particular governor or blaming any particular MPs or whatever. But I think it's time for us to really change our mindset and understand that across Africa, or even here, but mainly even in Kenya or in Nigeria, if you look at our constituencies, there is health clinics around most town centers. And it's appalling when you find that those health clinics are run down because of either lack of maintenance or lack of care or lack of people just not doing their jobs properly or poor practice and management. And one of the honest things is, again, your earlier question, as you said, poor management systems, which drastically reduce the capacity of creating job employment opportunities for yourself as well and for others, because people need to remember that the person who is investing, if that person is not doing well, that person is not able to sort of like create jobs for others. And the thing is, if the health clinic centers, which is near you, is not running properly, of course it costs life.
Yeah,
of course it's going to reduce the life shell of our children. I mean, you imagine if you have to travel from across kilometers, back home, and you're running to the nearest town center because the facilities in the nearest center is not close. We should be ashamed of ourselves. You know what I mean?
So, who should be held accountable for this? Is it the government? Is it the local government? Because somebody must be held accountable for this project that somebody executed that project.
Yes.
Money was spent. Then
yes.
What then happened? Somebody have to be accountable for this kind of, all these buildings left untouched, so many things. To my audience that are listening, again, we're live. This is Niger Voices. The lady that is speaking, that you can hear her voice, is Juliet. She's very passionate about Nigeria. She's been to Nigeria as well before, with about 42 different investors that want to have different kind of business in Nigeria. She's from Kenya, but she loves Nigeria to call. We're trying to get a facility manager that has been working in that area in United Kingdom here. I hope we will be able to connect with him. His name is Mr. Olawale Olayinka. I believe Olawale Olayinka is live with me on Niger Voices. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, you're live on Niger Voices. While we are holding on to Julia to give us who should be responsible for that building, the healthcare center, I just want you to quickly, to the audience that are listening, tell us who you are.
Hello.
Hello, hi.
Yeah, you're live, Mr. Lawale. I just want you to tell the audience, who you are and what you do.
Hello, everybody. My name is Olawale Olayinka. I'm a building maintenance, and I'm into property services and management.
Okay, and this is exactly what we've been talking about: maintenance culture in not only Nigeria, but also all over African country. Thank you very much for coming on air. I'm just going to go back to Juliet to answer that question, and then I have a lot of questions for you because you work in that sector. You see, the laws, because the question that I want you to concentrate on from your angle is the law aspect of the maintenance culture. Juliet, if you can quickly tell us who should be responsible. I just want you to explain to us and to the audience listening who should be accountable when this project has been done, has been given to the community. Who should we hold so that we know?
I think that we shouldn't be looking at who is really accountable, but I think we need to be doing our jobs properly. And I think that the rules are very clear that, if you look at Africa as a whole, it's not that people don't know where the money has gone. I was looking at a case in Kenya, and people knew very well where the money had gone. And in Africa, we've got very good structures. I want to actually argue opposite to what people think. And I was quite impressed in Kenya how they took accountability very seriously in terms of holding those accountable for not doing the right thing with the health money. Now, in Africa, the way they issue money, especially when it comes into healthcare system within the constituency. Let me talk about Kenya, then talk about Nigeria. But in Kenya, for example, in the new devolution system that is happening at the moment, you've got to reasonably show that the amount given from the government has been spent reasonably within the project stated, which is within the health clinic center that has been targeted within your county. And this would sort of also apply in Nigeria, depending on what county that you have come from. Now, it was interesting for me to note that, and I will take a good example with the schools in Nigeria. And what I observed was, especially when it came to Port Harcourt area and Imo State, and the schools there were quite well governed. In fact, I was absolutely remarkably impressed with how schools had managed to even go to an extent of giving free school uniforms to children. And that is, I don't know what we call impressive, but I realized that because the PS at the time, or the permanent secretary, was doing very well in that area, the community wasn't very impressed. And one has got to step back a little bit and ask the community, what is a good service? And I felt that I should ask that question, not while I was in Nigeria, but when I came back to UK, and I put this question out to Nigerian community. And when you've got schools as good as the schools are so well built, as good as what you would say here in United Kingdom, or where, as good as even universities built in across African countries, and you see that level of intense quality, one has got to really appreciate the effort that has gone into maintaining those kind of infrastructures that are available on the ground.
I want to bring in Mr. Olawale Olayinka.
Yes, I can hear. Just ask him to raise his voice and I'll be able to hear him.
Mr. Olawale, just give us an insight of what is a building facility manager, or what do we tend to understand, as a layman like me, why can't we continue to maintain what we have? You've been in that sector, for some time now. You know the drill, but I want you to speak to my audience, and I want you to speak up. I know you're a very busy man. You're on the road now. I'm very sure you're probably on the A40 heading home. Sorry to take your time, but this is a very important topic that we've brought to our listener on Niger Voices, on Starr Radio. Continue to like the page and share the page. I'll leave you now to explain to the audience. Mr. Olawale, please.
Yeah. Okay. Hello, everyone again.
Hello. Hi.
Hi. I think when we talk about the building maintenance, or maintenance generally, I think what it is all about is, I will use South Africa as an example compared to the UK. Is when it comes to the maintenance generally, we're talking about the continuity of an asset.
Okay.
In the sense that, hello?
Yeah, we're listening. We're listening.
Okay, it's the continuity of an asset, or whereby, like let me say, I will use Nigeria because I'm so conversant with Nigeria. The problem we have in Nigeria is, you have a project, you have the resources, you've got everything, and we've got this culture of, we've got this and we don't maintain it. And when we don't maintain it, that's when we spend a lot of money. But when you maintain an asset, you will notice that you will spend less, because you will foresee the problem before it arrives.
Okay.
Comparing to the problem we have in Nigeria and in Africa generally, that when we've got something, in that thing we've got, we haven't used it to the last lifespan of it. We're not going to do anything, and this is what happened going back to Nigeria. That all the resources, all the assets we've got that have not been maintained properly. successfully or as if it's not been maintained at all. That is when we are having all these problems we are having now.
This is Starr Radio UK.
Yeah, continue. We're listening. We're still listening. Yeah.
All the problem we are having now, if you look at things like Nigeria, that all the assets, like the buildings that has been built during the colonial regime, is what we still having now, and the new, it hasn't been maintained at all.
Okay.
Now this is where we having the biggest problem, and now we've got the resources, and we're having something called mismanagement as well.
Okay, so if we're talking about, Juliet have said so much, on this issue. You've come in as well. Do we need laws to tackle this issue, or is it just because what I've heard so much in any debate within the Nigerian community, and everyone knows that. Even those that are listening, not just in the Nigerian community, in the African community, is we keep talking about culture. Why is the culture, stopping us from doing the right thing? So what do we need to do? You work in the, in this sector, United Kingdom. Why is it difficult to get it right?
Yeah, the reason why it's difficult because there is no accountability. One, and secondly, there is no law that people should follow. Whoever is in any position or in any part of organization, they should have a law to follow. I will use an health and safety law. That when you're doing a when you are in a building society, in a building society or building,
industry.
The culture of maintenance, there is a law you've got to follow. And back in Africa, once any project is being successfully done, there is nothing. Once it's successfully done, there is nothing that we or me, myself, or anybody go about to say this. Oh, in the next 5 years we need to do this. In the next 5 years we need to do that.
Which is like a timeline.
Yes, there should be something like that on the ground. That okay, the next 5 years, this is what we've done. We need to do this.
Okay, let me, like I said, sorry to talk over you. I'm reading some of the comments. Oluwa Bowale, thank you very much for following us on this journey. Niger Voices. There is law, it is not being enforced. Juliet.
Yes.
We've seen it in Kenya. New trains coming in. So much money have been spent.
Yes.
What would happen if those trains are not maintained? And someone have said it on our following us on page to say there's law, and we know that everybody in Africa say there's law, but why is all this law not being enforced?
I think that is a very interesting question, but I think that we need to change our mindset, and I think it's in everyone's responsibility to really take serious what tasks they are being given. And I think the resist culture that everyone sometimes wants to do some kind of shortcuts across, not everyone, but I think the idea that certain individuals want to cut corners and not do the right thing, I think it's about time a strong kind of movement came up across Africa and said no to stamp this out. Because what we've got is slows down development, slows down our health and the well-being, I would want to put.
Because this is something that have great impact on a lot of our citizens, not only in Nigeria, but also cut across the whole of African country.
Absolutely.
If we look at the Abuja airport,
yes,
it was done to time.
I was just going to come to that.
Okay, I'll let you come in.
Yes. When you look at when your President Jonathan drew up the plans to refurbish different airports across Nigeria,
Yep.
certain people even challenged that. But luckily, some of the airports, I mean, I've had good experience and bad experience in something time. But I was quite impressed in terms of when it's organized, it's organized. When it's bad, it's bad. I think the question is, why do we let ourselves down? Because it's not that we don't have people who are educated
That's the question.
towards the
Looking after all
towards
this project,
Yes, towards
project manager and all that.
Yes. We do have young people and youths who are coming out of the university. And as I said last year in one of the programs, I did ask, it's either we have very bad programs that are running that cannot have what I call field operational ground manual operation for youth. But in Africa we do. But here, I think the idea here in UK, sometimes even people have said that some people are coming out with a PhD and they don't even know how to make an egg. And so...
Okay. I was just, Mr. Olawale, I want you to enlighten us. You go into work. Okay, just give us a brief of what would happen if someone is in charge, like you. I know what you do, and I know you've been in charge of, a big project here in United Kingdom. You've managed this project for years and years, day in, day out. What would be the responsibility of a facility or maintenance manager, or whatever name you want to call it, on a day-to-day? Maybe we need to start, going back to the basic, because I think, like Juliet have said, we've got too many people with BSc, PhD, and things are not being done rightly. Maybe we should just go back to basic.
Yeah.
Just tell us the basic.
I support what Julia said earlier about people. What is all about is it's all about the. We've all got everybody, even a layman that did not go to school. We all know what is called time management. We know what the time management is all about. But it's not about now to execute what the management is all about. We've all got different skills to carry out a management purpose. But the only thing I'm just want to say to people is, once people have been, one individual that has been given a project to carry out and is being accountable, and I think when the accountability is in whatever we're doing, and I think we will move forward. And secondly, I think the old generation. No, let me put it this way: all the people governing Nigeria, from the senators to anybody, they're all schooling abroad. They know how everything is being done. But the question is, what is in there that people are not carrying out? Why they can't do just simple things to carry out their day-to-day activity?
This is
that is what I don't understand. Because we are all the people in Nigeria, most of them are all British citizens or American citizens or German citizens or wherever you call it. They've all got nationality. And they know how it's been done in all this Western world. They call it Western world. They know how it's been done. And I don't know why they cannot create that single assignment out.
But
now, if you're given a task, there is a job description. And to go into a management or to go into any project, there is a lot of things that go with it. It's something called commissioning. Commissioning starts from the day you were thinking of, this needs to be done. There is quite a few people that you need to carry along with yourself. to commit to do any project. And now coming out from the project management, the people that will say from the day the project is done, it's just been decided, okay, we need to do this. From the genesis of that project, there should be a people that need to be carried out, and they need to be given a job description to be carried out all these jobs.
Okay, I want you to hold your thought there, both of you.
Yes.
I'm sure a lot of our listeners have been listening to what my two guest speakers have been discussing. We've been discussing basically what are the main reasons why we cannot maintain, that road, that hospital. I was in Nigeria last year, and I was in Ogun State, and to my surprise, there's so much infrastructure that has been put in place in Ogun State, and I'm sure a lot of you can, maybe not the whole part of Ogun State, but there are some buildings, there are some good roads that have been done. But the question mark is, if those back home knows the right thing to do, like you say, they've all traveled, they come down, they move around, and they're not implementing it. How do we now key in some of the diaspora? And I know, Juliet, we might want to talk on that because you've taken, few investors to Nigeria before. How can we now change the face? We live here, almost everyone have PhD, like you said. But how can we now encourage to work as a team? Because I love action. There's just too much talking, and action is what we need. There's a young guy that came at the Nigerian High Commission today. He hasn't been to Nigeria before. He's been to Nigeria once, only last year, August. He has never, he's in his 23 or 24. But the passion he has now is he wants to go back to Nigeria and do more work. So the question is, with the maintenance of and the building and whatever we have there, someone lives there, he needs the internet all the time, he connects to the Wi-Fi free. How can we have this maintenance? So I want you, Juliet, to just kind of, come in there and explain, why we then move into the next topic, which is very important, is the election tomorrow. For those that are residing in the United Kingdom, I believe it is the time to make your voices heard. You don't sit down at home when the election is happening tomorrow. I'm going to work, yes, but give that time. We're going to talk about that, but let's just round up on this particular topic. And now we'll continue to, we will have to come back on this because it's not a day topic. The time is very short, but I just want you to give us your closing remark in terms of, what you think, Juliet.
Thank you very much for that question. How do we encourage people to work as a team and to also just stop talking and also to get into action? I think you've already said it, but I think the big question is the action, which is mainly based on people getting together and ensuring that we are able to action one thing.
Okay.
I think it's the commitment that lacks.
Okay.
And I think the question is, how many people are committed to continuing discussions, or not only discussion, but taking one thing, as I requested that on the 7th and the 8th of April, because we were discussing the Sustainable Goals Development.
Which I was there as well, yes.
Yes. So I think once our mindsets have changed, but you've got to be able to have discussions in order to create awareness and in order to also create education as well, and also in order to create that kind of movement that you want to action something. But I also think that the resources that people would effectively necessitate and divide. Now, in Africa, for instance, people have always come to me and asked me what kind of projects should they support.
Wow.
And I think that raises a very good question in terms of when you come, say, for example, to road construction. My question would be, does road construction necessitate an average person to be doing those road construction, or
the government.
do the health clinics, for instance, which are not private clinics, for example, necessitate the citizens to be doing those clinics? And I think this is where the dilemma lays. So how do you then educate people to understand very well that when government money is given to improve the infrastructures of the health clinics, that money then goes to that because it is for our own well-being, and for people to understand that that is being done to save lives. I think people know that, and I don't like to say that it is ignorance anymore, because I used to think it was ignorance before, but lately I've changed my mind that it's not even ignorance. I now think that actually it is selfishness, and
That's it.
Okay,
you're very right, my sister.
Okay, Mr.
I support that, my sister. But what I'm going to add to what you've just said is, what I'm going to add to what you just said is, I think we need we need a lot. Everybody generally, like me, you.
Hold your thought. Hold your thought there. We want to give our audience to be able to call in. If you haven't got the studio line number, it's 0208 133 2257. If you want to send us a text or WhatsApp, it's on 075 3966 1744. This is the time now for you, the audience that are listening, to call in so that we can hear your view. Like Oluwa Bowale have said before, that there are laws. Maybe you might be able to call and explain, why are these laws not, being used. This is the right time now for you to join this conversation. Like I said before, this is you and mine. This is Niger Voices. So now it's time for us to take in all those calls. But let Mr. Olawale continue. But as soon as we see a call coming through, we will definitely be picking that call. Continue, Mr. Olawale, please.
Okay, as I was saying, I support my sister over there, and I think what we need to do, they need a lot of training. And I think it's just annoying that even the government back home as well, everybody they've got the role to play, not as an individual, but as a government, as a team, because in some cases they give a project to people they give it to, they call it experts from United Kingdom or America or wherever. When these people finish, they're not giving you a training. They're not giving the people that will maintain how to do the maintenance, and all this needs to be included in any project that's been given at any given time.
Okay.
But I think Olayomi, I think the question is, why is the government taking those decisions? And I think we sometimes have to also reflect on our side, because look at now Africa. China is coming in. Look at the contracts that are being drawn up.
Yes.
I'm sorry to say, those contracts are ridiculous. And we have to think why that is happening. We leave our government leaders with no choices whatsoever because of the issues that I discussed earlier on. Some people are so dishonest, some people are so selfish, some people are given materials to work with, and they, instead of putting 2 or 3 layers on the construction roads, they decide to cut corners.
They put 2 on one.
It is appalling, really, isn't it?
It is, my sister.
Okay.
And again, there's another thing, that how can you ask somebody to be a minister of steel and power, that he is a lawyer? He hasn't got the knowledge of being in that position.
Yeah, but maybe he might use the law. He might use the law to tackle some of what we've been talking about. Don't you look at it from the angle? I might be wrong. If somebody is not, I'll let you. Yeah, sorry. You want to say something?
I think that sometimes we forget that people have got transferable skills. And I think that if the person, sometimes people have, you might think that people are not, have not done several courses. Here in UK, I have seen a lot of different people taking different courses and different criteria of ensuring that they've qualified in one courses, and even in Africa that is also encouraged. And in fact, what is very interesting in Africa is if you look at the system, say for example construction company or accountancy, before you even finish that accountancy, it takes you so many years.
That's correct.
And I think the question is that really necessary?
Okay.
Because it has now become money-making mechanism, I would want to wish to argue. And we need to be creating jobs and employment opportunities for the youth and everyone else.
Okay.
So the question is, how do we do that very well? How do we take care of our maintenance and good structures of what is being built upon us? How do we refurbish what we've already got? Because in some cases, governors don't need to be coming here to ask for more money to rebuild hospitals when we've already got standing hospitals or health clinics which are already just rotting away.
Okay.
I think we need to get that community to fix those
it has always been a community. That's exactly what was being discussed at the Nigerian High Commission. For those of you that have followed those programs that took place at the High Commission today, the most important thing that was discussed, safeguarding the community. Now I want us to shift a little bit, come back home, and when I mean come back home, we reside here in United Kingdom. We all know it's right on our doorstep. We cannot move it. We cannot shift it. It's just happening tomorrow. I still have my two guests. I know we've been discussing about the maintenance culture in Nigeria because we're all passionate about Africa. And we're passionate about Nigeria. We've got so many opportunities. But let's come back a little bit home now to United Kingdom election tomorrow. Who wants to go first?
I think I'll go first on that. I think I will insist that every single person goes out there and votes. Personally, I would love people to make sure that the current government doesn't come back in. So I really emphasize in ensuring that you vote for whichever party you want to vote for, apart from the Conservative. I'm a bit biased over here.
Okay.
And I am a Liberal. I wear the hats of Liberal. So apart from that, I really want to encourage every African and every Caribbean and the black community to vote. Not voting means that your vote is wasted. So for every single person that has...
Yes, we've got Wally back. I think we lost you, but we lost Julia. While we're trying to get back Julia, you've had the question that I did ask earlier. We're gonna get back to Julia. I know she's already said her view, but that was not the end of it. Tomorrow is a very important day in United Kingdom, and we're all aware of that. It's a very, very important day. What is your own view to what the Africans, and we're talking about Africans now, not just in Nigeria, the Africans residing here in United Kingdom, what is the message that you think you can give to the Africans living in United Kingdom in regard to the election tomorrow?
Number one, I'm not into the politics here in this country, but from my own perspective, looking at the situation of things at the moment, I will support my sister that we will want. I will want Labour to win the election tomorrow. In the sense that the man Jeremy Corbyn, I don't know, because there was an article I read last week that they were saying that the man has got a good perspective, but the media are the one that is actually damaging the man's chances. and I follow. I wanted him out always mention it. Somebody was asking him about something to do with Trident, and he was trying to tell them that if there is not going to be anybody that we are to. I mean, I'm against war. I'm against people killing each other. We don't need to kill each other.
Okay.
We can dialogue.
Okay.
And what this man is actually talking about is to dialogue, which me personally, I'm in support of that.
Okay. I just want us to look at it. Tomorrow, the polling station all over United Kingdom will be open from 7 a.m. and closes at 10. But some of us goes to work from as early as 6 in the morning, and some might not be back even till after the whole election have been, the polling station has closed. What is the message we should be giving to, because if everyone is asking for a change, then that means someone that is going to work at 6 o'clock in the morning, do we tell him to take 1 hour of his time tomorrow or get to work late to make his civic duty by casting his vote tomorrow? Did you hear the question, Mr. Olawale?
Yes, I do. And what we just say to that is tomorrow.
Yeah.
This is the time for people to make themselves accountable. I mean, to make themselves count.
Okay.
To be a part of this. They need to make, if they want to get any message down, tomorrow is the day.
Okay.
Tomorrow is the day. Go out there, look at who you think you want to vote for.
Okay.
Vote for the person, but make sure you go to the right candidate. Like Mr. Olawale is doing.
I think we've got Juliet back. We lost her, but she's back online. Juliet, are you online now?
Yes, I'm online, yes.
Yeah, sorry, we lost you over there. You're back now. I was asking Mr. Olawale the question of some of our African brothers and sisters and mothers and fathers will start work early tomorrow morning at 6. The polling station open at 7. It closes at 10. What advice do you give to somebody like that? Even though we all know that this is a very, very important day tomorrow. I'm listening, Juliet. Hello.
Hello, hi.
Did you hear my question, Juliet?
Yes, I had your question. I mean, it's quite important for everybody to make their way and make sure that they vote tomorrow.
Okay.
I was saying I'm a little bit biased wearing my hat now on a political level just for this question.
Okay.
I don't want people to vote for conservative on this one because I don't want us to go back.
Okay.
That is a political show. But other than that, I would encourage every single person to go out there and make their voices heard.
Okay.
And that's crucial, especially for the African and the Caribbean community, because we often don't go out there and vote. And what happens is we're too good to say this is not happening and that's not happening. And I want people to go out there and vote for the political party that they really feel that is going to be able to do what they feel they stand for.
Okay. I will say a very big thank you to my both guests that have joined us on our first episode of Niger Voices. We're gonna say bye-bye to them, Udabo. But before they go, I just want Mr. Olawale once again to, in less than a minute, because I still have something to cover, but I just want you to, in overview of the two discussions we've had from less than about an hour and a half ago, just to round it up on under 1 minute, on your own view, in just a minute.
Yeah, I'll really happy for this topic, really, because it's been dreading in my mind for a long time.
Okay.
About this maintenance and the continuity and the accountability.
Yep.
And I just wish that we people, especially we that are in diaspora at the moment, that we want to go back home. That please, don't follow the culture of what is in back home now.
Okay.
We are all exposed while we are here.
Okay.
That we should bring all the experience we've had in this country or in diaspora generally and try to improve what we've got back in Africa.
You've said it all. I can't add more than that. You've got anyone there you want to say hi to? The people connect to us from Liberia, Nigeria. Do you have anybody you want to say hello to before you say Odabo to us?
I'm just saying hello to everybody and thanks for listening. Everybody all over the world.
That's it. You've heard it all. Olawale Olayinka works here in the United Kingdom. He's got quite a lot of experience, in the building and maintenance. Juliet, I know you want to say something to round up. But before you say something, I also know there's a big program coming up for you. But before you mention that program or that event that is coming up, I just want you, to give us your own overview, and it shouldn't be more than a minute, because after 1 minute, I'm going to take you off as we do in Nigeria.
I think, first of all, is to
if you want to speak up a little bit, please, Juliet.
I said, first of all, is to thank Nigerian Voices for starting a fantastic, fabulous program. I want to finish off by saying our mindsets as Africans needs to really be the beginning of good things.
Okay.
And I think that once we are aware of ourselves and we want to also engage mindfully with every single person, and love is key for each other.
Okay. Well, you've heard it all from Juliet. In a minute, if you tell, the audience about that upcoming event that you've got, and also I'll be saying that we have other event that is coming that we share with our audience, so that you know what is happening within the community, not just in Nigeria, the Ghanaian community as well, the Rwanda, the Kenya in the park is a big event that is coming up. 9jadiaspora will be live there and be covering that event. So if you want to just tell us, what that event is all about in 1 minute.
Thank you very much again. On the 8th of July, everybody who wishes to join me can come down at, we have what we call African Pride. Dress with your African attire. We want to promote Africa. We want to promote our way of living. We want to promote how we do things. We want to be educative. We want to appreciate our culture and heritage, regardless of which country you come from in Africa. So dress with your gear. Let's come together. Let us unite. Let us understand and solve some of these issues that we are talking about. Be there, and that will be, I believe you're going to send the post for everyone to see.
Okay.
That is African Pride, which is a fantastic project started off by Mr. Vows, and I'm collaborating partnership with him. So please, everyone, make your way on the 8th of July. The tickets cost £40 a ticket. That will be
with jollof rice. Does that come with a jollof rice?
Yes, entertainment will be included, food is included, and the drink is included. And many thanks to allow us to put that on your show.
All right, thank you very much to my two audience. But before you go, there's something I will continue to do after a conversation with the guest speaker. We try to push in the best of what a good news based on that topic. We'll try as much as possible, to make sure that at every end of a program, the topic, we bring a big news. And that big news is in compliance with the acting president executive order on the airports, the manual baggage check-in counter has been removed today. After scanning your luggage at the entrance, you just go through to check-in counter unless they feel there's something suspicious in your luggage. What that is just saying is, if you're traveling now from Nigeria at the airport, the Muritala Mohammed Airport, there's no more all those searching, waiting you carry. The most important thing is everything has to go through the scanning machine, and I think that takes place based on the executive order, from the acting vice president. Thank you very much, Juliet. Thank you, Mr. Olawale. To our audience that are still listening, we're still live. Again, this is Niger Voices, coming to you live on Starr Radio every Wednesday from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m., where we will be discussing Nigerian in all and Africa in all as well. But the most important thing is, I would like to say a big thank you for coming onto the show and giving us your own view and opinion on the topic that we've discussed today. Thank you very much, and we hope to speak to you soon, sometime again in the near future. Thank you very much for joining us. And then we can now, again, the line is still open for those that might want to speak to us on our platform here on Starr Radio. Call into the studio on 0208 133 2257, or you could send us a text on the WhatsApp 075 396 1744. I'll go slowly again on that. 0208 133 2257. We're still on. Mr. Olawale and Juliet will let them exit now, because I know they probably have one or two things to do. But the most important thing is I still got more news to bring to our audience of what is happening within the community over this weekend and what is taking place, in the next week or so that you are aware of what is taking place, within the community itself. Again, as usual, my name will be Olayomi Koiki. You can always join us, not only on Wednesday here, but follow us on our Facebook page, 9jadiaspora. We're on Twitter. We're also on YouTube. Again, we are plugged in with Starr Radio every Wednesday. We are also working to connect with one of our presenter in Nigeria. Hopefully maybe by next week we might be able to go live to Lagos, where they'll be able to give us the update as it's happening in Nigeria, in Lagos, where we'll be connecting with he used to be a diaspora as well. He's left the United Kingdom. He's been in Nigeria for over 15 years now. If you have any topic you want us to discuss, send us an email on yomi@nigeriadiaspora.net. We will look into it and we'll bring it into the panel. If you have any event that is upcoming, also take advantage of this slot to sponsor this program so that we can continue to bring it to you, as much as we're all living. Remember, Starr Radio every Wednesday, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Niger Voices. You can't miss it. Olayomi Koiki. What is going to be taking place that I would like to bring to you as well is there's a parental conference. This is coming up on Saturday, the 10th of June, 2017. It will be taking place at the Premier Marsh Way, Raynham SS, RM13 8 Echo uniform. I repeat that again. It's taking place at Kimmel Marsh Way, Raynham SS, RM13 8 EU. It's a parental conference. I think it's almost important from exactly what has taken place at the Nigerian High Commission today. We have to safeguard not just the young ones, but also the old ones as well. And again, not just in the United Kingdom, also, safeguarding, a lot of our young ones and old ones in Nigeria as well, and in Africa in general. Parental conference is coming up on the 10th of June, 2017. What we're going to try and do is we bring to you, whatever event that reaches us. If we don't have it, we can't mention it. But the most important thing is you can also sponsor this program. Get in touch with us, and you'll be able to have, your jingles played, at interval, not only on my show, but also on the breakfast show, and likewise on the other platform, that takes place between the 7 days on Starr Radio. Remember, Starr Radio, your finest Afro-Caribbean station in London. You can't miss it. Download the apps. Make sure you have it on your apps. That should be one of your important apps self. I should not even tell you that, because what we got to understand, we have to remember that our priority is very important. And if you are in the United Kingdom or all over the world, because, a station that is broadcasting not to those that are living here, but someone in Liberia is watching us, in Ghana, in South Africa, in Zambia. That means, this is a station that is bringing something back to the community. That is one of the reasons why, not just like the page, tell someone to tell someone, not just on Niger Voices on a Wednesday, but also on all other presenter show that comes in here, on a day-to-day. Most important thing is Niger Voices will be coming to you live every Wednesday. Take advantage of, the different... Oh, I think we've got a call coming through. Hello and good evening and welcome to Niger Voices. May we know who is on the line, please? Who is speaking?
Hello, my name is Miriam. I'm 7 years old. My full name is Miriam Koiki. I would like to know what this show is about and why events happen.
Oh, this is Miriam Koiki. Thank you very much, Miriam. You said how old are you?
7 years old.
And you want to know what the program is all about. The program is about not just the youth, but also to Miriam, at 7 years old, listening to Niger Voices. Thank you very much for connecting with us. Do you have anything else you want to say to the audience?
Yes.
Okay, we're listening.
All these people who are dying, we should stop the killers from killing them. These people are so special. And these people have died. And why are these people dying? Okay.
Wow. This is Miriam Koiki speaking to you, Niger Voices, asking you and me, why are people dying? We should all love each other. And that is the whole important key about it. Thank you very much, Miriam Koiki, for joining us live on Niger Voices. It is good to hear your voice. Tell your parent, tell someone to tell someone that every Wednesday from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m., Niger Voices come straight into your home. And if you did work, make sure you are listening on your phone. There is no excuse. This is your show. This is my show. Olayomi Koiki. Thank you very much, Miriam Koiki, for joining us. Again, for the audience that want to call in, give us a call and let's hear from you. I don't want to be on the studio alone on my own. My guest speaker are gone. So this is the time for you now to call the studio line and speak to me and tell us, what you feel in terms of, wherever you are in the United Kingdom or any part of the world. You could be in America, you could be in Canada. We have Nigerians all over the world. And they say, if it's happening, there's a Nigeria there. That is the big question. We are now going on a 1-minute break. Stay tuned. Starr Radio, the finest Afro-Caribbean station in London.
The Prasad's Automotive provides affordable, high-quality after-sales service to Bentley and crew-built Rolls-Royce cars, charging only 60% of main dealer labour rates. We offer health checks, servicing, diagnostics, air conditioning servicing, four-wheel alignment, pre-purchase inspections, brake repairs, engine removal repairs, and dent repairs. We are a team of highly skilled engineers. David Prasad was employed at Jack Barclay for over 27 years. At the Prasad's Automotive, we have the knowledge, experience and facilities that equip us to deliver excellence and quality to our clients at a personal level.
This coming summer, the Great Commission Society are proud to present a spectacular all-age event, Engage 2017, Saturday 24th of June at the Emmanuel Centre in Westminster, London. The day will start with Evangelism Masterclass from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. Dynamic and practical evangelism training by experienced international evangelists Tony Anthony, John Lawson, Neil Obard, featuring performances throughout the day by award-winning worship leaders, followed by a powerful evening of spontaneous worship from 7 till 9:30 p.m. Spectacular non-stop worship led by award-winning UK music artists Eric Reverence, Sandra Godley, Deanna Stambridge, Sam Daniel, and Caitlin Boulone. Early bird tickets available now from the following sites: eventbrite.co.uk, greatcommissionsociety.com, sworship.com. This is an event not to be missed.
The IWFT team presents Footprints on Starr Radio UK with your host Oscar Bimpong every Thursday at 7 p.m. Starr Radio UK, your finest Afro-Caribbean station in London.
Listen to Aunties Mary, Lottie and Regina on the Family Enrichment Programme on Starr Radio UK. This and every Saturday from 6 to 8 p.m.
Some people are wicked because don't make it your business going about revealing
people's secrets. Don't be a busybody.
And some people. Today's typical family is under pressure from various directions. Divorce is on the increase. More and more of the Afro-Caribbean youth are taking to crime, etc. The Family Enrichment Programme brings together a team of qualified experts to discuss and shed light on how we can make our families better and stronger. It is said the family can do without the society, but the society can't. Listen to the Family Enrichment Programme this and every Saturday from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. on Starr Radio UK, your favourite Afro-Caribbean radio station in London.
Hello? Hello?
This is Starr Radio UK. This is Starr Radio UK.
Now, onto Niger Voices. Again, thank you to all the audience that have been watching. It's been it's my first show, and I believe if you tell someone to tell someone, we'll be much stronger, and there'll be much viewer listening, not just on the radio, on the YouTube, and also on the Facebook. One quick announcement again is on the 8th of July, Starr Radio itself will be hosting all its presenters. But for you to attend is a free event, but we advise that you go on Eventbrite and register to come down into this gathering where you'll be able to meet other presenters, not just myself, but other presenters that present on this, your finest Afro-Caribbean station in London, where, it's a Summer Star barbecue. We've got a call coming through again. Let's pick up that call. Hello?
Oh, hello. My name is Majid Quinton. I'm 10 years old. And I would like to know what the government's doing to help Nigeria and what the plan is.
What the what? Sorry, could you repeat your name again?
My name's Majid Quakin, and I'm 10 years old, and I would like to know what the government's doing to help Nigeria and what the plan is.
Okay. Well, like you've had it there, I believe with the current government in Nigeria, they're trying as much as possible, but the citizens believe that they can do more. And this is Majid Koiki, asking the question: what is the government doing to help elevate poverty and help people back in Nigeria and other parts of African country? Unfortunately, my two guest speakers have left the air, but I'll be taking note of this question, and I can assure you by next week when we come back on air, we'll be able to bring someone that will be able to answer that question, and then you'll be able to have the feed for it as well. Okay, thank you very much. Okay. Before we round up again, just for the audience to be aware that on the 8th of July, we are having our summer barbecue. Yes, we like 5G. Come down, but try to register. Your interest to attend this event is on the 8th of July. It's summertime. Come and have some barbecue. Know who the Starr Radio presenters are, and that way you can at least have a feel. Again, on every Wednesday, I'll be coming to you. Make sure you tell someone to tell someone. tell someone, and I say to you, without you, I cannot be here, and without the Starr Radio management, Niger Voices cannot be here. So the most important thing is to support and sponsor this program. Get in touch with us, Yomi at nigeriadiaspora.net. You could give me a call, or you could search my name on Facebook, Olayomi Koiki, Olayyomi Koiki. We thank you very much. We're coming up to the end of this program. We do hope you've enjoyed it. It's the first day. If we've done any mistakes, bear with us. But the most important thing is we will bring it to you as it's breaking. That is the way I like it. And also remember that, if we are aware of what is happening within the community, we will bring it to you as it's happening. We've already been in touch with the High Commission to tell them whatever is happening within the United Kingdom, and also I use this opportunity, to say congratulations to the new executive of CANUC, which is Central Association of Nigeria UK. They've said they'll be working with all the, all the community in the organization in Nigeria, in United Kingdom. Again, I'll be bringing you something to listen to round it up tonight, where I'll be coming back next week. Thank you very much. It is Baba 70, Fela Anikula Kpokuti. May so rest in peace. And again, I'm Olayomi Koiki. Thank you very much for joining us.
Shit out of me. But I say I didn't die because my name is Anikulakbo. I have death in my pouch. I can't die. They can't kill me. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm a robber. I not be thief. I not be rogue. I not be steal. I not be robber. I not be am robber. Yes, argument about stealing. Somebody don't take his love to what belong to another person.
Thanks for listening.
Top of the road on this side, people they waka. Office workers, labor workers.
Thanks for listening.
Them go they waka. Inside bus them go they. Motorcycle them they ride. Plenty crowd. Inside this crowd. Sometimes for one corner. Sometimes for
Hello there, this is CJ Bang. Whenever I'm in London, my God, I only listen to Starr Radio UK. And you know what? I take it with me wherever I go. When I'm in Africa, when I'm in America, wherever I go, I listen to Starr Radio UK. You know why? Because you can download the app right now for free. Get on the web and download it now and listen to Starr Radio, your finest Afro-Caribbean station in London.
Looking go start, chasing go start, looking go start, watching go start, chasing go start. Somebody go day, where them go grab, them go beat them well, them fix lynch them well, police go come well, them go carry them go cops, them fix put them 6 months. Them fit put them 2 years innocent. See, them fit put them 7 years. If not, them go shoot them well. Them go shoot them for armed robbery. Instead of workers, we have officials. Instead of bosses, them they ride motor car. instead of motorcycle, na helicopter, instead of them waka, na waka go waka for them. Authority people, them go dey steal, public contribute plenty money, na authority people dey steal. Authority man not the pickpocket, na petty cash him go dey pick. I'm robber, him need gun. Authority man, him need pen. Authority man in charge of money, him no need gun, him need pen. Pen get power, gun not get. If gun steal 80,000 naira, pen go steal 2 billion naira. You not go hear them shout. You not go hear them shout at all. You not go hear them shout. And you go say those was a call. You not go hear them say. You not go hear them shout. Different way be them way. Now see the last style be them style.
Yes, 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 yes.
Oh yes. Oh, of course. Constitution of the government. Why not?
Yes, 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 yes.
All of them, the rogues.
All the others keep on talking.
1, 2, 3,
rocking.
4.